Good evening and good morning, excuse me, to all those that are winding their days down and to all those that are getting their days started. As always, this is Nikki Knows Best. This advice comes directly from me. This is not advice that I get from anyone or from anywhere. If you choose to use it, great. If not, that's fine too. I'm just here to help. A lot of my segments are on spousal advice. However, my goal is to have everyone get along. Therefore, I do give advice on relationships with your children, co-workers, family members, however it can pertain to you and help you out. That's what my job is. However, this evening, I do have a special segment in play. I have a special request from one of my viewers. The topic is, can a relationship or marriage work when you have different beliefs? The answer is yes. It certainly can. It's going to be work, but it certainly can. I was married, and we started off as the same belief. However, I decided that I didn't want it anymore. And he questioned how were we supposed to work if we were going to choose different belief paths. Why would it not work? I'm still your wife. I still have your kids. Why would it not work? So when it comes to situations like that, for one, both parties have to be involved. And I apologize for the noise that you are going to experience in the background. Unfortunately, I have a full house tonight. Workers are here making noise and working. Anyway, so in order for things like that to work, you do have to have both parties involved, meaning both parties have to understand that you do have different beliefs. And in order for that to work, you both have to understand that it's going to come with a lot of respect from both ends. Now, my issue, well, not necessarily an issue, but my thing is, when you dated and pursued this person, you knew that there were two different beliefs involved. I don't like to necessarily use religion. I like to say beliefs. So you knew that there were two different beliefs involved, but you still chose to pursue and or marry this person. Now, I don't know if you had a motive and thought that once you married them with time that they will come around to your belief. If so, that's not good, because now you have caused problems in your marriage. Or if you felt that you were fine with the different beliefs, but now you're changing your mind, you're also still causing issues in your marriage, because we are not in relationships to try and change anyone. We are in relationships to try and see if we can come as two separate and completely individuals and coexist. Just because you choose to believe and or worship completely different from the other person does not mean that you can't coexist. Just simply means that you have to have a certain level of respect for your relationship, for the person that you are claiming to love, not trying to change them. You're trying to change someone, that's not love, that's control. So as far as a marriage being able to work with two different belief systems, yes. Another thing that I would advise is keeping your families out of it as much as possible, especially if you have one of those families that are very, very strong as far as wanting you to keep it all in the family. And those that grew up with me know especially what I'm talking about and how we were raised and how we were not able to date and or marry outside of our belief at the time. Things have changed, but I'm talking about back then. It was against the rules. So we're not in those times anymore. Everyone has free will to marry and love whoever they want. So I'm not saying that love is blind. I don't know if I completely believe in that term. However, you can't really control who you love and who you fall in love with. But you do want to keep your families out of it as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying stop going to the functions, but if you feel like every time you go to these functions there's consistent negativity, you do want to kind of slow down the amount of time that you do go, because what's happening is the things that are being said you're trying to ignore. And if anyone understands how the mind works, is once words have been entered into your ear, it goes to your brain, it goes into your subconscious. Those thoughts that you feel like you didn't hear someone mention, those thoughts end up becoming your own thoughts, and you're trying to figure out, when did you start thinking like this? When did these thoughts happen? And it's when you allowed, or when you overheard a negative conversation about you and your relationship. So that's why I suggest staying away from the family as much as possible, because another thing is going to cause issues in your marriage, because you're going to question and wonder why this person is not standing up for you in y'all's relationship. And a lot of times it can be that they are standing up for y'all relationship. But when you have big families and these big belief systems, it doesn't matter how much this person stands up for you in y'all marriage. People are still going to speak their minds. They're still going to say what they want. So I would say don't go around as much, just to preserve your own sanity and your relationship with your spouse. That's what I would suggest. However, if it's not the family, if these are some things that are just coming about between you and your spouse, then I would definitely suggest speaking with someone and seeing how and what else could happen in order to help you guys out. But I personally, I don't believe that someone's way of life should affect who they love. I dated a guy who was full-blown Christian. I don't believe in that, but I went to church with him every Sunday just out of support. He knew I didn't believe in that, but I went to support him. I dated a guy, or whatever we did, I can't really say dated, but it was a very peculiar situation. And he's a Muslim. And he did tell me that his ex-wife, never prayed with him, and how I saw how it affected him. So I would wash, cover up, and I prayed with him out of support. I don't believe in that. But it shows the person that you care. He never tried to get me to convert. Neither of them ever tried to get me to convert to their belief. But that doesn't mean that you can't be supportive. If you don't want to do that, find other ways, other avenues to show the person that you support their lifestyle, and they have to do the same for you. It shouldn't just be a one-way street. They have to do the same for you. So those are just my suggestions. If it's family that's causing issues, stay away from the family as much as possible. If, the person is trying to make you conform and or alter your beliefs for them, no. Make sure there's respect and understanding on both sides. Because it's no way that it shouldn't be able to work. And I'm speaking from experience. I just told you my situations. So it's not like I haven't been there. Oh, you guys have been together for some years now. And just keep pushing forward. I hope this advice was able to help you guys. And if you need me to elaborate on it anymore, definitely let me know and I will. I wish you guys the best of luck. And to all my viewers, I appreciate you guys viewing in. Have a good evening and a good morning.